I made a decision this week that may or may not be a good idea. I committed my work in progress to my upcoming exhibition. The problem is that I still don't know if I can finish it on time. A few days ago, the shippers emailed asking for a packing list. Up until that moment, I've managed to avoid making a final decision. But now, they need an answer. Is this piece going into the exhibition or not? Welcome back. Last week, I finally reached a major milestone. I moved this work in progress from my small sewing machine onto my larger mid-arm sewing machine. At the time, that felt like the goal. But that was never the ultimate goal. Getting it off the machine before the deadline is. So this week, I am hoping that I will finish quilting all the figures and the geometric shapes. Then next week, I will quilt the background. The week after that, I will add the finishing touches and get this piece and all the other pieces that are going into the show ready for shipping. That's the plan. Whether I can actually stick to it, that is another question. One of the biggest challenges right now isn't the stitching, it's everything else. The moment I walk into the studio, my eyes go straight to the artwork. The machine is sitting there waiting. That's what I want to work on. Not my laptop, not the emails, nor the documents, nor endless meetings. But a professional studio practice requires all of those things too. So today, I'm making myself sit down and do some computer work. I open my laptop and immediately I see an email from the shippers. They need a packing list. Well, now I can't avoid the question anymore. Do I commit this piece to the exhibition or not? If I say yes, I'm making a promise that I honestly don't know if I can keep. I still have a lot of quilting left to do. This is already a shorter work week because I'll be traveling. And if I don't finish this piece on time, then what? I stare at the screen for a while. I wish I could see a few weeks into the future, but I can't. I'm making a decision now. I'm saying yes. The piece is going into the exhibition. Now I just have to finish it. With that decision made, it is finally time to start quilting. Good morning. Here is to another successful week in the studio. I am excited to get onto the frame and get to work. I haven't been on a frame sewing for a very, very long time, so I am looking forward to it. First, I want to test the stitching before touching the actual artwork. And immediately, things start going sideways. Something is wrong. Since I haven't used this machine for a very long time, I'm going to oil it. I forgot to oil it after I had cleaned the bobbin area. That is the next thing that I should have done. So I'm going to oil it and then try again and see whether it's going to work. So, day one of sewing on the frame hasn't gotten to a smooth start as I'd hoped for. The machine has been sitting for a really long time. So now I am troubleshooting to find out what is the problem. The stitches aren't forming properly. The stitches are too tight. Some are skipping. The thread keeps breaking. Nothing is working the way it should. This is not how I want to start. I haven't used this machine in over a year. Most of my recent work has been smaller wall pieces and textile sculptures. And while I've owned this machine for about 5 years now, I still don't have the same level of comfort with it that I have with my smaller sewing machine. To be honest, every time I use this machine, I'm a little anxious. One thing that's different about working on a machine mounted on a frame is that you can't easily see what's happening underneath. So when something goes wrong, I find myself crawling around on the floor trying to look under the machine and under the work. The stitches look terrible. It's a mess under here. My machine isn't working, and I have a deadline. After a lot of testing, I reached a point I've been avoiding, the tension dial. For some reason, I always hesitate to make major tension adjustments because I feel like when I touch the dial, I'm about to make things worse. But eventually, I decide to take a leap of faith and do it. Because at this point, I've tried everything I know, and I don't know what to do next. So I make that tension adjustment, and then test again, and adjust, and then test again, and adjust the tension, and test again. And suddenly, things start looking better. Not perfect, but good. Good enough to move forward. Yes. Finally, we are in business. Honestly, the relief is enormous because every day spent troubleshooting is a day I'm not spending finishing this artwork. The machine is finally ready. I take my first stitches on the actual artwork, and immediately I feel awkward. My hands don't feel steady at all. The machine feels like it's pulling me instead of me guiding it. Calm down. The first stitches don't matter. By the time this piece is finished, nobody is going to be looking for those first awkward ones. Just focus. Focus on the next stitch and then the next one. Slowly, I stopped worrying. The movement starts feeling familiar again. I don't have to think so hard. And little by little, I'm beginning to find my rhythm. So this is a piece that was purchased by Yale School of Management, and I am now delivering it to them after 3 years of traveling exhibitions. It's finally back to the studio. So I'm sending this to the framers in New Haven, and they are going to frame it, and then Yale will pick it up and mount it in their School of Management. So you're gonna come along with me to go deliver this to the framers. School of Management. You should have your specs.
Oh yes, yeah, I have it all saved for you. So I have
Okay.
it, yep. Is this similar size?
The rest were like 40 by 30s.
Okay.
This is probably a little shorter
Okay.
than the large one that we had the last time.
There's no particular
Oh my God, wow.
but you want to have this kind of
And does it have the Velcro on the? Okay.
No, it doesn't. This one doesn't have the Velcro.
Okay.
Do you need the Velcro on it?
No,
Because
no.
I felt like the last time you didn't really use the one that I had. You had your own way of.
Yeah, she figured it out.
Hand
Yeah, she hands
part
it.
of it.
Yes, yeah. So you don't want to sew some of it in there.
Okay.
I think we're pretty much set. I'll just take care of everything, and then we'll handle it all.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes, of course, my pleasure.
It's in good hands. They'll take care of it, and I can't wait to see it mounted at the School of Management. Going back to the studio to get some work done. Welcome to another day of adventure on the frame. The days settle into a rhythm. Every day I'm spending hours at the machine, stitching, standing, moving, stitching some more. Eventually my feet start protesting. The soles of my feet are throbbing. Pain is shooting upward through my legs. Mentally, I could keep going, but physically, I can't. My feet have had enough. So I call it a day. Not because I want to, but because I have to. I'm going out of town this weekend, and so I have very little time. I haven't even packed my bag, but I need to work on this a little bit more before I go out of town. So I'm going to spend some time here doing some more work, do as much as I can within the time that I'm giving myself before I go and start packing my stuff and getting ready to go. So, where am I now? I didn't reach the goal I set for myself this week. That's disappointing, but not everything is bad news. The machine is working. That's huge. What felt like a major obstacle at the beginning of the week is no longer standing in my way. The exhibition deadline is getting closer. I still don't know if I'll finish this piece on time, but I've committed to it now, and I'm going to give it my very best effort. Thank you for spending some time with me in my studio today. If this is the first episode you're watching of this series of videos where I am creating work for the exhibition, then go check out the previous videos. I'll put a link in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Until next week, create something beautiful and share it with the world. I'll see you next week.